Hey guys, and welcome back to the Foul Anglers. Today finds us down an estuary. We are braving it in these horrible conditions. The last 2 weeks of weather have been horrific, as I'm sure many of you know. Been literally impossible for us to get out, so we didn't really have a choice tonight. We're down an estuary, we've got baits out, and we are fishing for hopefully some bass, bull huss, dogfish, whatever's about, maybe even a ray. Be quite cool. We've got some absolutely massive tides at the moment, so obviously that brings a lot more bait fish through the estuaries and a lot more predatory fish with that as well. It's currently ebbing, so sort of last dinner call I think of it for fish, so hopefully a lot of them will be swimming past our baits and picking up some squid. We've got a lot of squid that we caught down on Prince of Wales Pier earlier on in the year that we kept frozen, so we've got plenty of baits. We're going to be sending up big squid baits, creating a big scent trail, and we'll see what we can find. Fishing 4 rods tonight, all Akuma rods, and yeah, we'll see how we get on.
Right, so we're just filming the intro. Sit down. Harry's rod starts taking off. Tripod almost falls over.
That was a really mental bite. It's sort of like really erratic.
It actually took drag as well. Try and show him the bend in that rod.
I don't know what that is.
Once you get it a bit closer, we'll go down to the shore and have a look. Try and get it in.
There it is.
Are we there?
I think it's just weed, is it? Hopefully it's not.
That is a big bit of weed.
That's not a great start. So as I mentioned in the intro, we are fishing against some pretty big tides, which obviously has its benefits when it comes to bait fishing, but trying to hold the bottom when you've got all this water moving past you does become a challenge. I've got 2 7-ounce grip leads on, and they are literally, as soon as I cast out, just being dragged across, which does make some difficult fishing, but hopefully it'll make some good fishing. That first bite, obviously what had happened, a big clump of weed had been moved across, hit my line, and then made it down to my weight, and it made it look like I had a bite from where it was sliding across the bottom. But it is what it is. We'll get rebaited on this rod. Rig-wise here, I'm fishing 2 different rigs this evening, only because it's what I had. We've not been bait fishing in a while, so I need to make some more. But here we've got a pulley, so you can see that's where it attaches to my line. And you've got your hook length here, slightly shorter than the hook length, the weight length. Then you've got your imp here, and basically imagine there's bait on that hook there. Clips up, it sits like that, so you've got all your weight in one point when you cast, which makes it a lot easier because you can cast a lot further. Not that we want to today, but yeah, and then as soon as that hits the water, that little clip there hits the water and your hook becomes disengaged and your bait sits away from your lead. So that's rig number 1. I'll get this rebaited and we'll send it back out. There you go. Hook pushed all the way through. You can see this is a squid head and a little bit of a body. So the main thing, it's quite ironic given what I'm about to say, is you want a proud hook point. So obviously you're not going to catch a fish really if it's like tucked away like that, because they're going to be grabbing it. You want the hook to find them straight away. So generally you can get it about like that. Pretty good. Bait elastic. Just make sure we give it a few nice wraps to keep that hook pinned where we want it really. So keep that body nice and tight down onto the hook shank there, and it'll make sure, you can see how it pulls it in, make sure that hook stays nice and proud. It's a bit awkward sometimes with squid, especially if it's still a bit frozen, which this isn't too bad. Generally that's about right. You could do a bit more, a bit less, but that is a pretty solid bait. You can see the scent sort of dripping out of it, which is exactly what you want, especially when targeting bull huss, because they track along the bottom after scent trails. So it's a pretty prime bait. We'll get it cast out and hopefully we'll be into one a bit bigger. There we go. There's a definite bite on that right hand rod there. Both of them I think, but definitely a bite on this one. So we'll grab it. It's definitely got it. There we go, fish on. Oh no, I think I dropped it. Oh, I did, I dropped it. No!
Oh.
I had it on for a second. What I was looking for here was the rod tip to properly start bending over, and it did give a few good taps and then started bending. Hence why I struck into it, but unfortunately it just must have pulled the hook straight out the mouth. This is quite common for bull huss and dogfish. You do find that they do spit the hook every so often. So I'm going to assume it was one of those, but frustrating nonetheless.
Right, we're on to possibly another big bit of weed.
That bit of weed's fighting, isn't it? Or is that the tide? Yeah, we've got a fish. Nice job. Bringing it in. What we got here? Suspect number one. We've got a bull huss actually. There he is. Not very happy. Got a little bull huss. Get the line. Go grab him. Nice one. Look at those teeth. Hook right in there.
We were just saying as we brought him up, he's a very pale looking one. He's got quite cool markings. He's very like. Doesn't look cool.
Fat as well. Look at the belly.
Yeah, I can tell he's had a meal.
Certainly has.
There we go. He's actually been really calm. These guys normally hate me and just won't sit still, but he's a bit docile. So got his eyes closed, bless him.
Wicked. There we go.
Get him unhooked.
Don't necessarily need to do it with this guy, but for the principle, basically how it works. You've got the T-bar here, got the bend of the hook, so you find the bend of the hook. Basically, T-bar on the hook there, and then basically use the line and you can pull it and it will unhook him. Okay. There we go, nicely done. Hook is out. Yeah, probably
He's woken up a little bit now.
maybe 5 pounds. Here we go.
There we are. He's ready to go. Get him back and he can go find somewhere to sleep for the night.
Ugh. Hard. That is some pretty disgusting noises.
Right. He should swim off quite nicely, they tend to.
He's keen to stay with us. There he goes. Bull huss, if you're watching, thank you. That was probably the best fish release we've ever seen. Just a quick public service announcement for you guys. We've added some things to our online merch store. So we've got mugs and we have phone cases now. Well, one of each. So if you wanted to pick one of them up for yourself or one up for Christmas, go to falanglers.co.uk. Just thought I'd jump in and let you guys know, as we're pretty excited. We worked ages on the design. So if you do want to pick one up for yourself or a loved one for Christmas, falanglers.co.uk. We've got mugs and phone cases on there now. So a bit cheaper than the t-shirts and the hoodies that we were originally selling. But we'll jump straight back to the fishing. So the gear run through for this evening is pretty simple. We've got our Surf 8Ks. These are Akuma rods. They're 100 to 250 gram casting weight overall. I think they're about 13 foot. They're pretty long rods, which is good for when you want nice easy cast and you can still get that distance without having to properly whack your bait out. We've got the Akuma Flight Surf reels here, nicely spooled up with some Suffix mono. Just goes quite well with the setup overall. Running 2 of these rods on 2 tripods, so 2 rods each. Right guys, so we just made it back to the van now, loaded all the gear, and I must say it's a lot easier bait fishing in a van than it is in a car. But all being said, hopefully you did enjoy the video and you found it somewhat useful. It's not our best video by any means, but we managed to get out in the conditions that we've been provided, so that's always a bonus. Yeah, so as Ollie said, these last 2 weeks have been horrific. We had 2 weeks to film a video and we were like, right, we'll get out and get a good day, and we've literally not had a good day since then, so this was our last resort. But we did manage to land a fish, which is obviously, yeah, as Ollie said, a bonus given the conditions. It's pretty minging. We were right out the wind today, but it is pretty horrible out there. Hopefully next week we'll be back to some proper good content. We want to get out on the coast when the weather's allow, basically. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video and leave a comment, because it does really help us out. And merch is linked down below and is on screen right here. Cheers guys. All right, we'll see you in the next one.